Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. It is me once again, screaming into the void of the internet. Wanted to just talk about this because I'm not really a controversy person per se. Like I know I talk about things that are like on the controversial side, especially on ScrewTube, and I try and censor it. But I just love that we can't win as guys, like no matter what. Like if you are unaware, I'm a big gamer person. I love video games. I just got Monster Hunter Wilds and I'm having some fun with that, playing it with my bro, when I can and stuff like that. It's kind of tough considering, I have full time. And, small little update on full time. I need to get another job, like, because they're cutting back overtime, and overtime was a huge portion of, like, how big my checks were. And so, yeah, it's time for another job. And either it's going to be a part time and I'll just have two, or I'm just going to see if I can just get one that's just going to pay me more to begin with. But wanted to continue this in focusing on the topic at hand, Pragmata. I think it's called Pragmata or Pragmata, something like that. And essentially, what the game is about is, you're this like kind of Dead Space looking dude, and he has this little like android girl with him, and it's essentially just a relationship about a guy and his adopted daughter. Now, there is a very big popular media in the form of The Last of Us that did the same thing. But because that media had a lot of wokeism to it and stuff like that, oh, everyone says it's the greatest game ever. And in my opinion, The Last of Us is so overrated, it's not even funny. But, I'm going to try and stay on topic. Essentially, all these freaking wokies out here are cracking down on this game and talking about how it's not right because it implies that a man can love, especially when it comes down to kids. And the only way that the man loves is, with this idea that there's some kind of, sexuality about it. And I just love that this is literally where these cocksuckers are coming from. Because, like, who is making the most sexualized content for kids these days? It's not the freaking cuckservatives. And listen, I'm no fan of the cuckservatives or the trad cucks or anything like that. I can't stand them any more than I can stand the wokies. But who's making these kinds of shows? When you got Has Been Midtail, and you've got all these other freaking trash shows that come on like Steven Universe and like a whole bunch of other stuff on Cartoon Network these days. Who's making that stuff? It's not me. It's not the trad cucks. It's you mofos. You mofos cannot make a single show out here targeted at kids unless it has some kind of relationship spam. These characters can be like freaking 9, 7, whatever. And for some reason, they've already got like several girlfriends and stuff like that. It's just the most irritating thing because even when I was that age, dude, I was not even thinking about that. I wasn't thinking about relationships until I was probably like in middle school. And like these kids are sometimes in elementary school and they've already got like girlfriends and boyfriends, or they're already freaking troons or trans testicles, or they're already like messing around with like, let's just say let's beans, the fagots and stuff like that. Like they're already doing that stuff. And they have the audacity to say that just because you are enjoying a game that's basically just about essentially being a pseudo parent to a freaking android girl, that, oh, that's terrible. Like, there's always this notion that, like you just can't win as a guy. And the funny thing is, in spite of what guys want to say about Chad and Tyrone and stuff like that, like, let's be real for a moment. Modern video games are always going to make their characters usually, like, at least when they're not, like, on the wokeism side, attractive. So here is this guy that, like, let's just be real, like, they want to talk about how they want, right? This guy, like, in the, who's essentially in the seat, and I'm sorry, I haven't played the game, so it's not like I'm going to know his name. But, he looks attractive from, like, the video games that I've seen, the pictures for the video games. He's attractive, he's got, like, the Chad physique and stuff like that. And even then, apparently, he's a pedo. He's a pedo bear, right? He's a PDF. Because he has a little girl on his back, and he's carrying her around like his little daughter. So, listen, guys, regardless of what you want to say, even with the black pill, like, here's the Chad. He can't win. He can't win because, like, he lives in a gynocentric hellhole that refuses to give the notion that guys can be nurturing or caring in any capacity, because they make it seem like they want you to be vulnerable. They make it seem like they want you to show your feelings, and then they just completely take a nice, fat, steaming diarrhea-filled dump on you. But when you don't do it, then you're a toxic, misogynist masculinity, like all the crap they want to pull out of their arseholes and stuff like that. And it's just so funny to me because, like, this is why I tell you over and over again, like, just Atlas Shrugged, dude. You shouldn't care. Go play your video games, do whatever the heck you want, man. You should not care about any image at all when it comes down to these people, because they can't even tell you, like, what they are. They're changing their identities every 5 seconds. They don't know what they are. They say they're, non-binary, all this bullcrap. But here they are trying to tell you what you're supposed to be. And then you are that exact thing, and then they say, well, that's not enough. I got to change it. Like, for example, it's hilarious when I hear some of these people talking about how, like, oh, you need to get you a wife or whatever, like, who's going to cook your meals. And it's like they're already, like, talking about, like, gender dynamics and gender roles as if, like, let's be real, like, anyone, let's say on the double X side, even cooks meals these days. Like, they hate that. They hate that. They hate housework. They hate any of that stuff, as if that stuff is actually difficult. Like, you want to hear something? I'll say this. I am probably the neatest person in, like, the house that I'm, a roommate in. It's not that they're messy. They're not messy by any means, but, like, I basically clean that kitchen every time I use it. I'm the only person that does that. And it's not, again, that they're messy, but whenever I use the kitchen, I immediately clean. And I'll also say this. I am probably the best cook here. Yes, like, listen, I literally made black pepper chicken, just yesterday. Absolutely fantastic stuff. It was delicious. I had some roasted potatoes on it and stuff like that. I do not need someone to cook for me. Nobody needs someone to cook for them. If you are willing to put in the time with simple ingredients, you can make stuff. And the funny thing is that if you say stuff like that, what do they say? They'll still find a way to talk about how, like, oh, it's just because you're some lonely loser that has to cook their food. Like, listen, guys, you gotta accept that you gotta Atlas shrug because you can't win here. You shouldn't be trying. Like, when I see all these freaking YouTubers and they're complaining, or they're just like, let's just say cashing out on the views to get the YouTube bucks and stuff like that. Listen, for men as a whole, if you are in Europe, if you're in, like, the UK, if you're in America, Atlas shrug it off. Shrug off any of this notion that you need to care about what they think of you, that you need to care about their opinion of you. Shrug it off. Because we shouldn't. We know that they don't like us. We know that they hate us. Like, every time you turn around, when, like, you ask guys, or just in a general survey, do you have a positive view of women? Most of them will say yeah. You ask the women, you have a positive view of men? Most of them say no. Why? Because most of them are invisible to them. They're not attractive enough for them to actually have a positive view. If you're ugly, if you're an average guy, if you're, let's just be real for a moment, aware of the black pill, you know that they're not going to have a positive view. You don't look attractive enough. You're an uggo. And the funny part is, you're not an uggo, guys. Most of you guys call yourselves uggo and sub 5. You're not sub 5. You're just average. Most people on the world are average, but social media as a whole has completely, especially on the double X side of things, has completely blown away the image that they see of themselves. Because, oh my god, all these guys are simping for me, so I'm clearly a 10. No, they're just desperate. Because I'll just say this, guys. If you have self-control, good for you. But you got to be aware of something, guys. Most men are dogs. Dogs. Sleeves, collars, and all. They're dogs. They will do whatever they have to do to taste an ounce of the juice. The coochie juice, they will do whatever. Listen, they would eat the freaking corn out of a double X chromosome's turds if that pleased them. That is how pathetic that they are. That is how pathetic that they are. So you have to accept that. Now, if you want to be that, whatever. But don't sit around here and think that we don't have the right to judge you. Because if you're going to post crap like that on social media and you're going to talk about how it's perfectly fine to simp, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and perfectly talk about how it's perfectly fine for me to never want to be like you. I would literally rather level a bolter to my brain than freaking simp. I'm not doing that crap. I have self-respect and dignity, and I'm not trading that for nobody. Nobody. So, listen, when I see these people trying to tell you that we should be angry about stuff like this, don't be angry. No. Just accept, again, that you can't win. When you are in gynocentric hellholes, again, Europe, UK, America, wherever, you can't win. You're a man. Atlas shrug. Don't even care. Because, listen, there is no reason to care about your image in a world that can't even tell you what they are. There is no reason for it. Play your video games. Play your gooner games. Play whatever the heck you gonna play. Be whatever you're gonna be, guys. Within a reason, like if you're gonna go down the crazy rabbit hole and then claim that you're completely, normal, don't say that. Just go down the rabbit hole and just accept what you are. Me, I'm just gonna keep playing my games. I'm gonna keep, having fun with my, escorts. I'm gonna keep having fun with my freaking dolls. I could really give a rat's ass about, like, what any of these people, that don't know what identity they are, that don't know how to make any kind of form of media unless it's hypersexualized. Like, it's so funny to me. Men will make media and just make the characters attractive, and there will be hints of sexuality. double X's and like the freaking wokies make media, and it's just constant sex scenes. But remember, you're the one that's the gooner here, like not the book talkers that want to read about werewolves stretching them out, but whatever. In any case, listen, keep playing your video games, keep being you guys, because like we should not give a rat's ass about like what this world thinks of us. They don't listen. Again, I'm gonna say this over and over again. They would not piss in your mouth if your tongue was on fire. They love that you suffer. They love that you're miserable, and you still concern yourself with like caring about their opinions. Don't care. Let it go. Let it go. Atlas Shrugged. Go ahead and Atlas Shrugged. Go live your life. There is plenty more to do besides being miserable all the time about how you don't have this or that. Listen, just the other day I was riding that motorcycle. It was awesome. Just got it insured and stuff. And my freaking phone mount broke, so I have to buy another one. I already bought it, so waiting for it to get here. But listen, guys, I'm free. I'm free. Riding that bike, it just felt so liberating to just not have to worry about, Ubers and stuff like that. Now I pretty much, gotta at least wait until the freaking mount gets here, so I have to Uber just for now. But it's liberating to like be free, and it's liberating to just, cook your own meals instead of being like these freaking normies around here just wasting all this money on Uber Eats and DoorDashes when they could just cook a freaking meal and call it a day. Like it's hilarious to me. But yeah, don't care, guys. Don't care. Don't care about any of this image. Don't feel like you need to even preserve this image. Like, if you want to be a freaking wacko, be a wacko. Because listen, everyone's freaking crazy these days. Like, you might as well just like play into the stereotype of con world. Remember, especially if you even see somebody like, saying that they want help or something, especially if you're not gonna get nothing out of it. Nah, go ahead and say that you're incompetent. You were born with a dick and balls. You can't help. You're a weak man. Especially if you're Hugh White, because God forbid that you're a competent person and you're Hugh White. So nah. Play into the stereotype. Give them exactly what they want. Nah, I'm too stupid. I can't help. I don't know how that works. Play into it. Dodge all forms of responsibility that have nothing to do with you. Dodge it. But I'm just gonna leave it here. That's gonna be a short video because like I love just seeing that like you can't win. Like I really don't understand why there are guys still even now that are trying to play into this culture game. Like, you can't win. Just accept you can't win. Accepting that you can't win, like I always say, does not mean that you just lie down and bed rot or anything. You just realize, like, playing this game, trying to please these dumb arses, that you can't do this. There's so much more stuff that I can do in my time, whether it's work out, play video games, ride a motorcycle, drive a car, bang a hooker. Like, there's so much that I could be doing with my time that is far more efficient than wasting my time trying to care about what a bunch of freaking wokies that are obese and have like every freaking rainbow color in their hair, like are happy with me. I don't care. I don't. So I'm just saying that, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. And if you do play some video games, hey, got any recommendations? Because I'm trying to get back into video games, and so I've been waking up even earlier to just play games for a couple hours. So I'm kind of interested if you guys got any recommendations. Playing Wilds right now, so let me guys know. Thank you guys for watching. Keep being you. God bless. I'll see you in the next one.